So somebody sent me a message, and I thought it was really sweet. They said, you need to stop telling everybody that you told us so. You didn't say shit. Well, you seem to have short-term memory loss, and you don't know who I am, clearly, because if you did, you would remember when I said this on August the 17th of 2023. Afternoon, everybody. It's time for an episode of Speaking Truth to BS. I'll be your host, John, as usual. Now, I heard somebody say on this app today, and it kind of stuck in my craw a little bit. They said that the Founding Fathers never could have envisioned somebody like Donald Trump becoming President of the United States. And the fact of the matter is they did. They saw that happening eventually. And so they gave us ways to remove a corrupt president. Article 2, Section 4, President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment. So, for treason, bribery, and all that kind of stuff. We tried that twice. I'll get to that in a minute. They also gave us Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, prohibits anyone who has previously taken oath of office, senators, representatives, and other public officials from holding public office if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the United States. We had that. I'll get to that in a second. Now, it wasn't until 1965 that we had Article 25 added to the Constitution, which had to do with John F. Kennedy being assassinated, and they needed a way to transfer power from a president that was unfit or couldn't serve his term. So there's 3 ways right there that we could have removed Donald Trump from office. There are probably some other ways that I'm overlooking right now, but these are 3 of the biggies that came to my mind right off the bat. Problem with this is that Republicans know how this works. They have gamed the system for years and years and years, and they have all of these Republican politicians in office now. We have a third of the country that votes for Republicans, a third of the country that votes for Democrats, and a third of the country that we can't even get motivated to vote. And we ended up in this gridlock that we're in right now. Republicans hate Democrats, Democrats hate Republicans, everybody's just fighting, and it's gridlock. Anybody that says that Trump didn't do a bunch of illegal shit when he was in office is lying. I mean, it was plain as the nose on my face. And I got a pretty big nose. Trump fired the FBI director from doing an investigation into him, James Comey, and even went on TV and bragged that if he hadn't fired him, he wouldn't have been president. That is obstruction of justice, plain and simple. We should have removed him. They tried. We tried to impeach that crooked dude twice. The first impeachment, the Senate wouldn't even allow witnesses or anything. They just pushed it through, and they found him not guilty. They wouldn't allow evidence. They wouldn't allow testimony. They wouldn't allow anything. They just held a mock trial, and they just found him innocent. Because the entire Republican Party was corrupt. We tried to impeach him a second time, and it basically went the same way. And we finally figured, well, they're not going to remove him. They wouldn't invoke the 25th. They wouldn't impeach, and we couldn't remove. They wouldn't remove him from office. So we finally just had to get motivated and vote his ass out, and that's exactly what we did in 2020. But we do have ways to remove politicians. All these people that gave tours of the Capitol building before January 6th, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that sat in at meetings at the White House when she was newly, elected. I think it was before she was even sworn in. She was talking outside the White House about, there was an interview that they did with her. It was nighttime. They had a camera out there, and she said, tomorrow's going to be our 1776. We had a great meeting and all that shit. We have ways of removing those people as well, but we don't have the votes to do it. It takes a 2/3 majority vote to remove all those crooked politicians, and the only way that we're going to do that is to get enough Democrats elected to the House of Representatives and the Senate to get those people gone. So that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to stop voting for Republicans. One of these days, you guys are going to get what I'm laying down here. We've got a bunch of corrupt Republican politicians all over the country, and they're passing all these fascist laws in Florida. They kicked those people out. They kicked those two Democrat people of color out of the house in Tennessee in the state houses. Zoe Zephyr, where's she at? Montana or Idaho? I don't remember. Somewhere up there. They just booted her out because they didn't want to hear her speak because she's trans. This is not how this country is supposed to work. And these Republicans are trying to take the country over roughshod using legislation to do it. And we got to stop voting for these people. We got to vote them out and get some other people in there that are not like that. And we can get rid of this problem. But we're going to have to vote it out. That third of the country that I was talking about, we got a third that vote for Democrats, a third that vote Republican, and a third that we can't convince to vote for some reason. We're going to have to motivate them to vote for Democrats. And we're going to have to vote in as many Democrats as we can, and we're going to have to get rid of the Republicans. That's the only way that we're going to get out of this mess. Anyway, there's some truth for you. Love you guys, and I hope you have a good day. But yes, we have ways to remove corruption. The Founding Fathers foresaw all of this.